All right, we're back working on this axe. And my apprentice here, Mr. Wayne, the rooster. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
What we got here is an Adirondack 25-inch wedge banger on a 5-pound council there. Phantom bevel. Okay, this video could not have come at a perfect time. Welcome, new subscribers, old timers, new timers. We got a problem here I developed when I was setting the head on this axe handle. I got just a little bit of curl all the way around, so I know the head's set down, but when I did that, I cracked the palm swell. Okay, it happens. What I did is I flared this way too much before I hafted the axe or set the head, and when I did, I cracked it. It actually knocked a chunk off here, cracked it there all the way up on both sides. I knocked that corner off. So what I did is I got glue down in this one and this one, and I clamped it with just a regular clamp. Put a clamp on it. If you can't get clamps on it, use a lot of rubber bands. And I let this thing set overnight. What I'm going to do to straighten all this up anyway is I'm going to do a laminated palm swell. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this thing flat all the way across. Okay. So I'm not really worried about the little chip on this side or the crack, because a lot of that's coming away. But on this side where I cracked it pretty good, I'm gonna have to run a dowel rod. See, I cracked it across here, all the way across and down. Okay, so the heel of this palm swell, actually, since it's Adirondack, it's the bottom of that palm swell cracked here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole right below that, and I'm going to run a dowel rod through there, just like that right there. So that's what we're going to do. Excuse me. And I may end up putting one across, okay, at a different height. But what I want to do first is drill this one first, okay. I'm going to drill it right through the back. So I'll set that thing in my vise however I want it. I think we had a couple guys in the community having issues with what do I do with a cracked palm swell or a cracked handle. Well, there's two things you can do. You can start over with a new handle. Let me make sure you can see that. I'm going to zoom in right here. You don't need to see my mug. You can start over with a new handle, or you can repair the handle you're working with. Now, I haven't drove the wedge in this head, okay? All I stopped was setting it down right where it's supposed to go. So what I want to do before I drive the wedge and put more pressure on this palm swell, I want to pin it. So I'm going to take a dowel. I like them fat, 1/4 inch, 5/16 inch dowels. And I'm going to run a dowel right through there. Boom, just like that. Then I'm going to come through here, the side. I'm going to come right through the side, right below my cut line. I'm going to come through right there. I'm going to drill through right here. Then I'm going to come through right there. And what that's going to give me is it's going to give me a double pin, okay? I won't have to worry about it no more. Now this is red oak, and it's probably more apt to split than hickory or ash, but hickory and ash do split. I've split them and I've had to repair them. So let's wrestle up a drill and a bit, and we'll get to drilling. the right size hole. To get it as close as I need to, I'll take a set of calipers. Stay down there. Like these. Let's see if I don't have it. Calipers is already out. Still teaching my helper to put things back. You know. It's a work in progress, right? Anyway, we'll use these calipers right here. What we'll do is we'll take that dowel and we'll mic it. This is a Browning set of Browning sharps. It's just fine. Get them closed. Check for 0. If they're not, make a slight dial adjustment and get it back on 0 and lock it down. Okay? And we'll open it up and we'll mic it. So it looks like we're dealing with 380 will work just fine. So I need to find a bit that's really, really close to that. 380, and we'll drill a hole. Sometimes it takes a minute, so I'm going to cut you off and bring you back. Okay, we found us the bits we need. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to drill me a pilot hole. There'll be a little tear out. It's okay. And I want to mark where I'm going to be doing my lamination. A lot of folks don't want to laminate. That's fine. You can just drill your hole, run your dowel in there, and then you can sand everything back down and shape it and do what you want. But since this is a laminated job, I wanted to establish a line where I'm cutting that handle off, okay? Which is right through there. Okay? Just like so. Flat. I'll be laminating some wood on there. The wood I'm going to be using is sapele. Okay? It's a nice figured wood. Here's my wedge made out of it. Very beautiful wood. First time I've ever used sapele. Anyway, let's get back to drilling this hole. We're gonna come right here, since I've cracked this heel, and I know I got a dowel I'm gonna run through here. So we're gonna come down here about right there, and we're gonna go at an angle, slight angle, and we're gonna go right through that handle. You're thinking, oh Lord, he's ruining it. No, I'm not. All the way through. Be careful when you go out the back side that you don't blow it out. Now I could put a piece of tape on the back. You know what? I think I will. The reason I put a piece of tape on it is to keep minimal tear out. See there? There's not much tear out, and I'm fortunate that it's not. So what we'll do, of course, I've got to run down some tape. So that's what I'm going to do. So give me just a second, and we'll run some tape down. All right, this tape don't have to be nothing fancy. It's just some clear tape that I'm going to set on here. Okay, just like so. And just leave it stuck there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill through that, and hopefully it won't tear out much wood when it comes with it. So I'm going to put it back to vise. I'm going to set it in there like yay. Switch to the final dimension, to the largest bit that I need for my dowel. This is a big dowel. You can use 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch. I think this is a 3/8 dowel. Yes, it's a 3/8 dowel. I like big dowels, more surface area. I'm just going to barely bump it, get it started. Make sure I'm lined up straight. Just turn slow, take your time. We're not in a race here, okay? There's still plenty of meat on that handle. Change my angle a bit. Perfect. Check my depth. And I'm almost through. I'm not applying much pressure, just enough to get the bit to cut. I could just cram it through there, but I don't want to do that. You can hear it starting to change. It'll change sounds the closer it gets to the hole, the end of the hole. You could tell it's getting ready to come through. Hear it? Check my depth. Oh, I'm there. We're through. We'll check the other side, see how bad it blew out. Oh, take our tape off. As you can see, it didn't blow out that bad at all. And it's dead center, that's what we want, okay? So let's chuck it back in the vise. Take our dowel and see how loose or tight it is. It's pretty tight. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure that so it sticks through out about 1/2 inch and about 3/4 of an inch on. Hey, you could go 1/2 on both sides. We're going to cut that puppy off. Don't take much. Just lay it up on something and cut it off. Now this is actually good because that's a red oak dowel and that's a red oak handle, okay? Color's a little bit redder on this than it is that, but that's okay. Now we'll take and I'll come over here on this belt sander and chamfer this edge. just like so. Chamfer both ends and flatten them out real nice so when I hit them it doesn't bust. And we want it tight, but we don't want it so tight that we're going to put a lot of pressure and expand and maybe re-break the handle. So that's pretty tight. Okay, so we're going to back that out a little bit. We'll take our drill, run our drill in there, and just put a little pressure on each side all the way around. What that does, that loosens that hole up just a little bit. We'll try it again. That's what we want right there. Now, because that wood glue is going to take up some room. Okay? And that's what's next. We'll add some glue to that hole. And then we're going to glue up this dowel really well. Because when we shove it in there, it's going to clean itself off. But that's all right because we got plenty of glue in the hole and here. And we'll take wipe our fingers off. We'll take a mallet, a dead blow hammer, and we'll tap her in. Oh, see, I got plenty of glue coming out the back. And we'll run her in there till she's all the way out the back. And she is. Okay. Now we'll stop and we'll clean that up. We'll get this glue off our hands. I know I should have everything here. Get this glue off our hands. And we'll clean that handle up where we don't have all that glue running down it. That dries, I'm gonna tell y'all, that ain't coming out ever. And when you get it shaped, you'll never know it. Because I'm going to be cutting this off. So I'm not going to need, let's pull it out of there and look at it. I'm not going to need some more glue. See how that went all the way through there, just like that. Plenty of meat on either side. Now I don't have to worry about this ever coming apart right here again. However, you notice I got a crack right here. It runs down through here. So what I'm going to do, I've already made up my mind, is I'm going to put me another one in it. And I'm going to put it in like this, above this one, and not a big one. I'm going to go small, okay? The other dowel, don't need a big dowel anymore. What I've got here is a 1/4 inch. As you can see, it's much smaller. I'm going to run me a 1/4 inch dowel right through there. Okay, just below the cutoff line. Just like that, 1/4 inch. And what is a 1/4 inch? Should be 0.250, correct? All you math guys? Yes, it is. 0.253 or 4. So this is a little heavier than a 1/4. That's actually pretty close. 0.251, 0.252. 1/4 inch. That's what we're going to call it. So I'll bring you back when I get a 1/4 inch bit. There's no sense in pilot holing this one. We're just going to drill through it. All right, we got a 1/4 inch bit. I see where my crack is. Now the other little crack that I had, it's going to come off when I cut it. So I'm not going to worry about that. But I am this one. So I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to come right up there above it, just below my cutoff line, and I'm going to go right through it. All right, let's check the size. It's going to go right in there. Okay. Now, we'll take and get us a measurement and cut that one off. And we'll chamfer it. If you don't have one of these Japanese pole saws, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to invest in one of them. Because, ladies and gentlemen, they are the stuff. All right. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the other one. We're going to pump some glue in there. We're going to put some glue on this dowel. This is Titebond 2 wood glue. They make a 3. I personally can't tell the difference between 2 and 3. I don't know who can. I'm sure professional woodworkers can tell the difference. I have yet to be able to tell the difference in the holding ability between Titebond 2 and Titebond 3. So, with that said, I'm going to use a steel hammer on this pin because I don't want a lot of bounce. Okay, finding one now is the problem. You know, I got a helper now. So, with that said, here we go. It's a little bit big, but she's coming through. There's my glue. I'm going to take her out of the vise and I'm going to lay her down on a block of steel over here and finish driving it through. Helpers. Helpers, helpers, helpers. There we go. Now we can get a little bit of, you had too much bounce and it wasn't wanting to go in, so we're going to fix that right now. And here she comes. There she is. Okay. There it is on one side, there it is on the other. All right. We'll clean it up. We'll let it set a while. And we'll cut all this excess off. And then I'll make my flat cut and we'll reshape and clean all this up. And we should have a beautiful tool when we get done. I believe we will. Yes, sir. See, I was afraid to set this head hard because I didn't want to re-crack my handle. Okay. Now that we've got 2 dowels in there, I'm not so worried about it anymore. So let's let them set up. I'll bring you back. We'll drive a wedge in it. And we'll go from there. Y'all stay tuned.